Hello folks, R1 here. I've been messing around with the new patch and I had decided I'd go ahead and focus on and unlock the little Yak 1. It was an interesting little plane, it's fairly easy to get it unlocked, and I ran it in a few arcade battles, which I will probably show you some of that footage at a later point. But at this time, I had just unlocked a few basic modules and I had just gotten to the point where I'd unlocked better ammunition for its two small caliber machine guns. It also has a 20mm cannon in the nose, but at this point it still has the default ammunition loadout. I decided that it was time to take it into a realistic battle and see how it performed. Salsa Heaven there ahead of me also is flying the Yak 1, and I think we had one or two others in this match, as well as a fairly diverse group. It's Korea is the map that we're on, and we're going to be encountering some fairly stiff resistance. I'll let you make up your own mind about just how well this noodle Yak performs. For the moment, I'm not going to bore you with the rather rapid climb to altitude that we commenced to have and skip forward to the actual action. By the way, this plane, for a plane without WEP, it climbs pretty well. I mean, it's not spectacular, but for its tier, it does a good job. I do want to take just one moment to give a quick shout out to a fellow YouTuber named McDude. This young man thought that it was great fun to shoot holes in me on a pretty good match we had a few days ago, and he enjoyed shooting me so much that he dedicated a video to the to my agony. So McDude, anytime, and well played, sir. If you haven't checked out his channel, please do so, and I'll try and get a link to that in the favorite channels section here on my YouTube site. One thing that I did notice about this plane, even though it doesn't have WEP, it does have a tendency to overheat. So when you get done climbing, it pays to throttle back a little bit whenever you have an opportunity to do so, and let it cool back down before you mix it up. The first enemy target that I see is an enemy PBY down below. And normally I wouldn't go for a PBY right off the bat, but I hadn't spotted any other enemy, and I really wanted to see how this combination of twin machine guns and 20mm cannon was going to perform against a fairly tough bomber target. Now obviously, in a low-tier fighter, when going up against a PBY, if you just sit behind him, he's going to destroy you with those 50 cals mounted all over the body of the PBY. So I'm going to try and keep my speed up as best I can and take a little time setting this up. So far I'm pretty pleased. That was some pretty accurate fire. All the guns are grouped in the nose of this airplane, and that helps with precision shooting, especially if you're going for the gunners or the engines on something like this PBY. So there goes a gunner, and there goes some damage to the fuselage of the plane. He's smoking and he's hurt. Takes a little bit more than that to bring him down, but I've got an F-2A Buffalo coming in at me hard. Now the Buffalo in War Thunder is actually a pretty agile adversary, so I'm going to have to watch my step just a little bit. If he gets on my tail, I could end up in trouble. I got a few shots into him there, but it's not affecting him that much, and he's already swinging around on me. I think, at least at this point in time, he may be a little bit more agile in the turn fight than I am. And I'm going to have to really play this close to my chest. Now I think I'm probably faster than him, so I'm going to take the opportunity to break away and see if I can finish off this PBY. He's already got one engine out. And we'll see if we can finish the job. It's a lot more red in the air than it was a minute ago, so I'm going to have to watch it. There's a little pea shooter. I'm going to rake him pretty hard as we swing across. And down he goes. Don't underestimate little pea shooters. You get one on your tail, that can be a serious pain in your butt. And there goes my PBY straight through the bridge. Nice. Well, there's a little biplane, a little Fury Mark 1. I think I'm going to take a run at him, if possible. Let's see if I can at least tear him up a little bit on the way through. I'm out of cannon ammunition, relying solely on my twin machine guns right now. And a little damage. But I don't think I'm going to stick around and get into a turn fight with him. I think I'll keep my speed up. There's plenty more bad guys to go around. Speaking of which, there's our friend in the Buffalo. He's still in the air. I didn't think I'd hurt him that badly, and he's on the tail of one of my teammates, so... Target of opportunity. That worked out pretty well. I have no idea why he was flying around with his landing gear down, but it certainly couldn't have helped his cause there. I'm going to assume that he was fairly new to realistic battles and somehow perhaps double pressed his landing gear button when he was taking off. I don't know. Anyway, it cost him, and down he goes too. Well, I'm going to do a quick scan for hostiles. The only ones that I see are a fair distance over my head, taking some AA fire, so I decide I'm going to head out of the area. I really can't get up very quickly to that altitude with that Gladiator, and frankly, without any cannon ammunition and a limited supply of machine gun ammunition, I think I probably would serve my team best to go ahead and head back to base. There's still another PBY up, and I'm going to need my cannon if I'm going to help take him down. And I certainly can't get to him from down here the way I am. That's one of those strange tactical decisions that you sometimes have to make, but if I'm going to spend the time to get up to his altitude, I'd rather be fully equipped to deal with him. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time. And my team is holding up fairly well at this point. We've got a decided advantage. There's only 2 enemy pilots left. I think they can afford to spare me for just a couple of minutes while I go get in proper shape to complete this battle. We'll take another jump ahead at this point because it's a fairly lengthy little trip over these hills to get to the landing strip. Now by the time I've taken off again, a couple of my teammates have gotten themselves a little shot up engaging that PBY out there. He's apparently fairly good with these guns and he knows it. And he's doing a lot of damage. Salsa Heaven there is on his way back. He's been criticaled. He's just limping in, trying desperately to make it back to the base in time. And Old Smoky is engaging the PBY right now. He's going to end up getting seriously shot up as well. So I'm going to make post haste to get over there to back him up. Skipping forward ahead a bit, Old Smoky is heading back to base. He's actually been criticaled, so he will make it, but I believe, if I remember correctly, but he's hurt bad. So we're going to trade places, and I'm going to take over on the PBY, who is still in pretty good shape at this point. We're going to see what we can do to change that. Now, Smoky does let me know he was able to do at least a little bit of damage to him. And, well, with a PBY, every little bit helps. Good work, Smoky. Now, this time around, I don't have the altitude or speed advantage as I did before. So I'm going to try and make a slashing attack as I go by him. At least, that's my plan. And I realize that this guy, Wes Miller, he's heading almost directly to me. He's planning on going right over the top. But I'm able to get enough hits in to do a critical as he passes over me. And I don't think he expected that. And frankly, I didn't expect to be able to do quite that much damage in one pass either. He's smoking, he's hurt, and he's doing that strange thing that PBYs do, well, a lot of bombers do when they get hit, where he just starts gaining altitude, and he probably doesn't have very good control right now. So I decide I'm going to work over his elevators and tail section and remove all ability that he has to maneuver. And there goes his tail. But it's going to take a little bit for his plane to figure out that it's on its way down. Eventually, he's going to flip-flop and slip-slide all the way down to the ground, and it takes well over a minute, which is quite a while when you're in combat. And I tell the team I'm going to head back to base again. I expended most of my ammunition on him, and I didn't at that point know what the last member of their team was in, so I head back to reload one final time. Apparently, the last member of the enemy team was hanging out at their base because the guys rally and head in that direction while I'm going to land and reload. By the time I get back up in the air, the match is over. And yeah, Wes at this point still hasn't hit the ground yet. That'll take a while. So yeah, my first realistic battle in the Yak 1. It's awfully good, guys. It's well worth getting. But don't take my word for it. Step back, research it up, give it a whirl. It doesn't take long at all, and it's a lot of fun for lower tier combat. I'll let you go for now. You guys have a good night, and until I see you again, good hunting.